Hey guys, Tyler here, and this is the Garage Warrior podcast and video cast. And I'm super excited today to welcome on the call with me Todd. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, Todd. Give it to me.
Hey, it's Kuslikis.
See, I know I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Okay. So I stopped right there. Well, Todd, thank you so much for coming on the call today, man. We're going to talk a lot about body weight training today. And Todd, we just actually met a little while back, only a few weeks ago in person. And so for the people on the call who may not know who you are, can you give us kind of like a 50,000-mile view? Who are you, and what are you hoping to teach people?
Yeah, so kind of a 50,000 foot view is I started up a website called A Shot of Adrenaline, and it's solely based on bodyweight exercises and teaching people how to build strength and build muscle using bodyweight exercises. And kind of the what drives me when I look at bodyweight exercises is creating a level of self-mastery. I think there's always an element of self-mastery that especially men are trying to achieve. And there's a goal of doing handstands or front levers or muscle ups that puts you at it brings you more confidence and puts you at this higher level in your own mind, and this confidence starts to translate into other areas of your life. So about 2.5 years ago, I started up this website, and honestly, the reason that I started it is because I had a lot of different unique styles of doing body weight, like spider push-ups and dolphin push-ups and horse push-ups. And what I did is I created just short 20-second videos of these different styles of exercise, and I started putting them online on YouTube, and people loved them. They were just floored by them. So I thought, okay, well, maybe there's more of an audience than just on YouTube. And that's where I built this shotofadrenaline.net website and have kind of built up this following of people that they're tired of working out of the gym, or maybe they got injured in the gym, and they're not just starting out. They may not need to lose 100 pounds, but they're looking to take their fitness to the next level using these very unique styles of bodyweight exercises.
That's cool. We recently had Adam Steer on the call. He was talking a lot about bodyweight exercises and who needs them, who doesn't, stuff like that. I was trying to provoke him the whole time to get kind of controversial. So hopefully we can get you more controversial than I got him, because I really think bodyweight exercises are something that everybody needs to be doing. To me, I always tell people there's two ways to improve your fitness. One is to learn how to move your body better, and the other is to learn how to move external objects better. And so you obviously take a bodyweight approach. Is most of the stuff you do geared towards teaching people how to do more complex and more difficult movements over the course of time?
Partly. I mean, looking at more complex movements, I think you'd be moving more towards the gymnastic side, the muscle ups and front levers and whatnot. And I certainly touched on those elements. But what really drives me is honestly helping guys that are skinny build muscle and build mass using bodyweight exercise, because there's this idea pervading the internet, and it's been doing it for a long time, that says you cannot build muscle with bodyweight exercises. You have to lift weights to build mass. And there's a certain element where you're going to increase testosterone levels and whatnot when you're pushing or pulling a heavy weight. However, when you do a bodyweight exercise in a unique way, it's you're doing a pistol squat, or you start working towards the one-arm chin. I mean, you're still strengthening that muscle, and you're staying within a low rep range, which weights help you do as well. But that's where I become most passionate about is dispelling this myth that you need to lift weights to build muscle, because it's just not true. Bodyweight exercises, if you do them right, will not just get you lean, but they're also build muscle as well.
I have this strange theory that everything we do signals our body to have a reaction, right? That's what training is all about, diet, so on and so forth. And I have this strange theory I rarely share with people, but I'm going to share it with you, and you can give me your thoughts on it, Todd. And that is bodyweight exercises provoke someone to be leaner over the course of time, because there's a necessity to be leaner to be able to perform the bodyweight exercise themselves. What do you think about that?
I love it. It reminds me of I'm big into MMA and UFC and whatnot. And one of my favorite MMA artists of all time is Rickson Gracie. If you know Rickson Gracie, but he fought a lot in Pride. And there's a video called Choke, which a lot of your followers have probably seen. It's extremely popular documentary on Rickson Gracie, which is arguably one of the best fighters of all time. And by a lot of the Gracie family, and actually every one of the Gracies said that Rickson was the master, by far. And he's never lost a bout, 300 some odd wins, and fought some of the most difficult, challenging opponents in the world. And after watching his documentary, there's a section on there where it talks about, or it shows his routine doing bodyweight exercises. And what I did is I created what I call the Gracie drill. And it's this combination of movements where it's challenging to get at first. It requires balance and flexibility and coordination, but it will help you get lean because it's hard to do. It's not like you're not just lifting some heavy weight and moving it a short amount of distance. It's you're on the floor, you're moving your body, your arms and limbs in different directions. So I would definitely agree with you in the sense that to do a lot of movements, a lot of bodyweight movements are whole body, and to do those whole body, if you're carrying an extra 100 pounds, it's going to be a lot more challenging than if your body fat is down to 12, 11%. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it's like, to me, I call it self-limiting exercises. Like if your goal is to be able to do a hanging leg raise, well, you can probably carry some pounds, but it's probably going to be hard to do with extra weight on your thighs. If your goal is to be able to do a front lever, however, like we're talking about, you have to be fairly lean because the amount of strength it takes to do that exercise will prevent you from being able to do it if you have a lot of body fat on it as well. So that's an interesting point. So do you personally focus more on the strength component or more on kind of the functional conditioning kind of component in your bodyweight training?
I go through phases, honestly. I know that's not a direct answer, but I go through phases. And in one of my programs called Bodyweight Overload, I essentially modeled it off of a bodybuilding routine, where you're for 3 to 4 weeks you're focusing on a hypertrophy, and you're fatiguing in an 8 to 12 rep range, and then you move towards a lower rep range of like a 6 to 8, and then so your body is building strength, and you're strengthening the nervous system, and then after that you take a week or 2 weeks where you're doing more active recovery and you're focusing on your balance and doing some handstands and some pistols and whatnot. But over time, what this does is it's essentially a periodization way of training. And overall, your strength increases, your hypertrophy increases, and your ability increases. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short is when they focus on just doing one style of training. And I'm not saying that weights are bad. Weights are a modality. If you're using kettlebells or dumbbell, whatever, it's simply a modality. And so you can definitely incorporate weights. It's not a bad thing. I'm just passionate about the self-mastery element of bodyweight exercises. But that's where a lot of people fall short, is when they get so regimented that all I'm going to focus on is low reps, and they never focus on high reps. Or same thing, they just focus on endurance, running as long as they can or biking as long as you can. And if you're trying to become the best runner, then yeah, that's fine. That's very sport specific. But if you want overall fitness levels and to grow in your strength and muscle mass, then you gotta tweak things. You gotta change up things. And one of my favorite fitness gurus of all time, the late Jack LaLanne, he was one of the greatest of all time. And when he's 70 or 80 years old, he's in the river pulling 80 boats, and he's shackled with his wrists and ankles and whatnot. And I followed this guy for a long time. And one of his mantras was every 30 days you need to completely change up your routine, because your body is so good at adapting. So that's when I help people when they come to me and they say, I've reached a plateau, I don't know what to do. And one of my first questions is, how long have you been doing your training plan? What can you change up?
Yeah, that's interesting. I know so many people get married to something that they get used to, whether they like it or whether it's just a routine, the only routine they've ever known. They just get married to it. That's an interesting thing because Jack would say, he would switch up exercises, he would switch up speed, he would switch up reps, he would switch up time frames, he would switch up all these different components. And, over the course of however many years he was exercising, I would say at least 60, 70 years, he must have tried a little bit of everything. And yet we all kind of regard him as one of the fittest and healthiest people on the planet. And so that's a really good point, Todd, to mention is that, everybody can build themselves over the long haul if they try a lot of different things, provided they just keep moving forward.